If there's anything that's certain about life, it's that things are uncertain. There's no doubt that life can throw us some crazy curveballs, or what I like to call turning points, right? Maybe you've experienced a turning point that looked like a best friend moving to another state. Maybe someone you know got cancer. Maybe you experienced a breakup, or maybe your parents got a divorce. Honestly, this list could go on and on and on, but you get the idea. There are all these turning point type moments in our lives, and while they definitely aren't anything that we're hoping for, there's still moments that help us really discover our faith and who God really is. There's another great example of a turning point moment in John 11 that, while the circumstances were unfavorable and honestly even painful, it led to tons of people really discovering who God is and led them to eventually put their faith in Jesus. It's the story of Lazarus. See, Lazarus became very sick, and his sisters Mary and Martha sent a messenger to Jesus to let him know how bad this sickness had actually gotten. But instead of going right away, Jesus and his disciples waited 2 days before going to visit him. And in that time, Lazarus actually ended up dying. But here's the thing, while everyone was looking at this terrible situation that was right in front of him, Jesus was looking at the big picture. He knows that this isn't just about his sick friend. It's about more than that. This is about how many people will know who he is and believe. Jesus leverages this painful situation to bring God glory. He says this in John 11:4. When he heard this, Jesus said, "This sickness will not end in death. No, it's for God's glory, so that God's Son may be glorified through it." Jesus used the whole situation, as terrible as it was, to grow people's faith. The death of his closest friend was worth it because of what it was going to do for people's trust in God. Jesus and his disciples end up traveling back to the town where Lazarus and his sisters were, and by that time, lots of people had gathered around just to mourn the loss of Lazarus. This is when Jesus makes a bold statement in John 11:40. Then Jesus said, "Did I not tell you that if you believe, you will see the glory of God?" If you believe, you will see the glory of God, is what he says. And then he backs it up by doing something miraculous and raises Lazarus from the dead. But the thing about this story is that it's not about something bad that happened and then Jesus fixing it. No, it's about the bigger picture. It's more than that. Yes, this was a painful situation for lots of people, but Jesus used a difficult, tough, painful situation and turned it into one that ultimately works for good. Point blank, this event brought people to know Jesus, and that's the biggest, the best good that can happen to anyone in this lifetime. And this really reminds me of two things. One, it's possible to go through the toughest pain imaginable and come through it trusting God more. And secondly, in tough times, God works in you so that he can work through you. Know that whatever circumstance you find yourself in, whatever tough situations that are going on in your world right now, know that you can make the choice to use your pain to still bring God glory. It's such a powerful testimony to say, yeah, the circumstances around me are not great, but Jesus, I still trust in you. And when you do that, God does something in you that he can then use to work through you and bring other people to him. And I'm excited for you to discuss this in your life groups that you are actually now dismissed to go to.